This video is sponsored by Babel.
The monument room is looking a little bit untidy and full, but something really important has arrived. And I just want to take 5 minutes or less to talk about why this is important for me. So I love living here at Mapperton, and I'm surrounded by Montague history in all the corridors and all of the rooms, and I love it. You know, I love researching Luke's great-grandmother, Alberta, and all of his other ancestors. But many of you, quite rightly, have noted that, yes, there's me, but where are there, any parts of my kind of childhood around the house? And up until this point, the answer has been no. But I have suggested, I think on a video, or to at least friends, and to definitely Luke, and to definitely our patrons on one of our live Q&As, I knew that my childhood memories and young adult memories before I met Luke were arriving here. I had them shipped from America. Part of it was some of my china, and it's Ralph Lauren, and so I'm excited to open up that. And I thought maybe I could place my Ralph Lauren china out on the Georgian table in the library, which is right next door. So when we start to have tours again, which we're opening back up to the public in a few weeks' time, that when the tour guides come in and with the visitors and they share the history of the library and the room and the new paintings that are on the wall, because of course the tapestry is down, that they might be able to share that this is our Americans' china, and it is really American. It's Ralph Lauren. So I can't wait to open up that. But in the meantime, I started to open up these boxes, and I was like, Chris, we've got to film this. We've got to film this. This has traveled all the way from Illinois. And first up is, here we go. I was captain of my cheerleading squad. That's right. I went to West Aurora High School, and you can see A for Aurora. And then I played softball. There's a softball pin there. There's my pin. There's my volleyball pin. We were the Blackhawks, and I don't have my uniform because you always had to give your uniform back, but let's just see if it still fits. I do have a woolly jumper on. So there we go. So this is what I would wear, everybody, like every single day apart from the summer. What do we think? Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, very cool to bring it back to fashion.
Don't you think so? I mean, it's in perfect condition. I wore this every day to high school because, of course, I was in Illinois. It was cold most of the time. Well, you know what I mean. Enough to wear a jacket. It's cool, right? I mean, I'm after this, I'm going to the shops. Don't you think I should go out in this? I'm so going out in this.
This video is sponsored by Babel.
Questo appartamento è centralissimo e ben collegato.
Questo appartamento è centralissimo e ben collegato.
You have been transported to Italy. Here I am. And it's so much fun when I come to my little Italian house because I'm able to speak with the locals.
Un pezzo parmigiano reggiano, media.
Order food, ask for directions, and that's all because of Babel, one of the top language learning apps in the entire world. Their lessons are designed by real language teachers. There are podcasts, there are games, there's just so much for you to do, and it really helps you when you want to have conversations, whether that's with your friends who might speak a different language, or buonasera, see, and saying hi to your neighbors right there. Oh my gosh, that makes me so happy. Or of course, if you just want a project, I truly believe that projects keep you young. And that's why I love it that I'm able to continue to study Italian through Babel. I'm now at a B2 level. And what's really exciting, Luke has literally just clicked on the link below and he has his subscription. He is going to start to learn Italian as well. Now he does speak French, so it'll probably come to him much easier than it came to me, but it doesn't matter. He is starting his language learning with Babel as well. So if he can do it, you can do it. So do click the link in my description or scan the QR code to get up to 60% off, you guys, for your subscription with Babel today. Honestly, it's one of the best things I've ever done, and I feel like our family together is starting to learn Italian so that when we come here, we can speak the language. Like, so again, for me, it's helped my self-confidence, especially when I come here. It's just been probably one of the best things I've ever done. And now Luke is doing it too, which makes it even better. So do check out the link in my description or scan the QR code, up to 60% off. This is something you will not regret.
I mean, there's so much for me to go through, but I went to Indiana University. I think many of you know that. And I was a tridelt. And these are my paddles. And you would make a paddle for a lot of your friends. And so this would have been probably my last year. Look, you can see Indiana University, Delta Omicron chapter. I'm afraid that chapter at Indiana doesn't exist anymore. But anyway, we won't get into that. To all the great times we've had, we love you, Sarah and Amy. And that was two of my best friends. This was... looks like it would my pledge night. Yeah, welcome to Tridelt. And lots of people who are already Tridelts. I recognize all these names. They signed it. Isn't it just brilliant? It's like from the year above. I've got several of these here. I have another one. Oh my gosh. From my friend Tammy. That's a doll, everybody. Her hair is caught. Pause, please. I don't want to injure the hair. One of my best friends was named Tammy. In fact, I'm going to text her this afterwards. You're the best old roomie. I will be there. Delta love. That's what we would say. Delta love. Oh my gosh. So there's a lot I need to go through. I'm going to see if I can find you just some, here we go. I knew it. Some fun photos of like big hair. Okay, these are a couple of dances I went to. I'm going to blurt out my friends' faces because they might not want to be here, but look at this hair. That's senior prom. Look at that dress and look at that hair. That's just brilliant. And this was, oh my gosh, I think it's called, it's going to come to me. Comment down below. It's called Sadie Hawkins. Is that right? Where the girls ask the boys on the date. And me and my best friend, we had dates, but we dressed as deadheads. So there you go. Look at that hair there. Make sure I'm covering her face enough. I think it's a Sadie Hawkins dance. And we went to, there you go. There's my big, enormous hair. Oh my gosh. Then there's like lots of ribbons. What did I get? Excellent. Junior high speech meet. There we go. Junior high speech meet. Okay, I'll take that. And, oh, here's a look at this. Was this like a Christmas ornament? Well, if it was, there I am. I'm definitely going to put that on the Christmas tree next year. What do you think, Chris? I mean, look at it. It's got a little ribbon there. Definitely a Christmas ornament. So many photos. This is going to take me days and I mean, there are cards in here. There's cards. There's, oh my gosh, like what is there? Some of my old books. I mean, clearly I was reading Pup at the Palace. Here we go. A Right Royal Problem. Oh my gosh, I was destined to move to England. I can't believe I just pulled out this book. And it's Pup at the Palace. Oh my gosh. On a visit to Buckingham Palace on their first day, Mandy spots a cute Labrador puppy who poses for James's camera and then runs off. This is the book that I read when I was clearly younger or something like that. Wow. Okay. It's in my collection. Now, this is again, West Aurora Blackhawks. Hurrah, hurrah. Was pulling this out, and this reminded me of why I need to write in a diary more. So in 1997, my sister and I, we went on a European holiday together, and I kept everything. So clearly I went to Florence. That's my Florence map. This is before phones. These are my, how much money I'm spending. Look at that. On my Amex, ATM, Visa, traveler's checks. Do you remember those, everybody? Chris probably doesn't, who's filming this. Nope, doesn't even know what a traveler's check is. Look at this. All my tickets to where I visited in Firenze. I mean, I knew I was attracted to Italy. And then I also went to Copenhagen, Roma, so we were in Roma. But I didn't realize this, and I'd forgotten that I ended up writing my diary from the day we left, June 11th, 1997, all the way through Copenhagen, every day I was writing, literally. I mean, what? And then all of a sudden, I take a train on June 15th from Munich to Florence. And we eat at this amazing place. I put on this one side note, the wine in Italy is the best there is and so incredibly inexpensive. And then it says, I absolutely love bruschetta, and this was the best I've ever had. The second dish in Italy is the pasta. We ordered a bowl of ravioli and a bowl of penne pasta with porcini mushrooms. The two bowls were a meal in themselves, enormous portions and great taste. And then I ended up going to Siena, and I put, this was a cute Italian village. The center, the centro, had a huge plaza, would be Piazza Julie, with restaurants and gelato. And then I put, I'll get to the gelato later. We climbed 505 steps of an old bell tower to see the entire city. It was marvelous. The city is made into circles like this. And then I drew it there. Yeah? It's very interesting to see how it's formed. We then went inside the very famous Duomo at Siena. It was huge and absolutely beautiful. Then oh my gosh, I could just read this. There we go. I get to the gelatos later. I ate 5 gelatos that day. Gelato is Italy's ice cream, if you didn't know that, except much different, better than America's. After that, I say our last day in Florence was the 17th. We bought a cup of cafe Americano to wake up with. Of course we did. We went to the Uffizi Gallery, the Palazzo Vecchio, which includes amazing sculptures by Donatello, such as Hercules and a copied sculpture of Michelangelo's David. Everything's breathtaking, I say. Anyway, I went to the Duomo, to the Baptistry, which is known for its bronze carved doors, and describe it. I'm now in Spain. I head off. Wow. And it keeps going. But I want to read you something at the end because my sister and I, I talk about a really bad hangover. Whoops, June 20th, we woke up with our first really bad hangover. So we slept until 11 a.m. Oh no, I'm still in Rome here. Okay, Rome. So I spent a lot of time in Italy. Sistine Chapel just went by. Wow. I mean, I cannot wait to read this. I'm actually going to scan it and make sure that it's digitized, and then I can use OCR. So hopefully that'll work. Look, I was a good writer. This is amazing. But I'm going to get to the end, and I say this. I think it's quite sweet. I said, I'm now sitting on the plane reflecting back on my time in Europe. What a great time I had, and I will never forget everything I saw in this world, and an incredible bonding experience with my sister. I did say this, one last side note. America is the greatest country, and I miss it. Okay, I'm just going to pause there because I now feel that now that I live in England, I'm like, England's the greatest country, and I do love England. Or when I go to Italy, I'm like, Italy's the greatest country. It's one of my drawings. I got a sensational Please Save the Pigs by Julie Fisher. Interesting. It's my handwriting. It says, looks great. Wow. Here's a book I wrote or something. Here we go. There we go. This certifies that Julie Fisher has been awarded the certificate for participation in 8th grade cheerleading. Because I was also a cheerleader, not just in my high school, but in my junior school as well. Here we go. This is really good. We beat our rivals in cheerleading. And there I am. West Aurora cheerleaders, me and somebody else, Julie Fisher, celebrate after a victory over rival East Aurora. There I am. Oh my gosh. Wow. How it's going to take me a long time to go through all of this. Obviously, here's a chevron that we would put on our cheerleading arms. So it shows how many years. Okay, wait. I might be coming up to it. Oh my gosh, West Aurora. Oh my goodness. All-State. We made it to All-State 1991. This is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So, okay, I found what I was looking for. It's my yearbook. This is my junior high yearbook. So when I was in 8th grade, and oh my gosh, so 1986. And I love it how in yearbooks, everybody signed your yearbooks. It's amazing. Dear Julie, you have fun this summer too. There's only one thing I'd like to ask. Learn how to answer history questions correctly next year. If only he knew that history is now my subject. That is hilarious that he's written. I mean, I'm sure that was a joke, right? Hilarious joke. So there we go. This was, oh my gosh. Like just to be able to go through this. And then you find yourself on here and then it says like, I can't wait glad you came to Washington this year because it was my first year at the junior high. And then we're all going to our high school next year. We're all going to West Aurora. This is just absolutely brilliant. So let's find the picture of me, shall we? Oh my gosh. Was I in the pep club? Let's see. My friends were. So the question is, was I? Anyway, I'll have to look at that later. There's a lot of people there. Here we go. I definitely was in here because I played the clarinet. There I am. Right there. Right there with that bob. Clarinet. There I am, playing the clarinet. There we go. Hilarious. Then we have, here we go, cheerleading. Let's look at cheerleading. There's football, basketball, wrestling. Here we go. Here I am. There's cheerleading. 8th grade cheerleaders. Oh my gosh. That is so funny. It's so weird. And then we have my picture coming up to it. I'm not sure about my hair there. It was like really bobbed, like seriously bobbed. Here we go. Wow. That is a serious short. I'm not even sure what that hairstyle is. What is that hairstyle? But everybody says that it's the twin to, William's the twin to me. So comment down below if you think that William, do you think that it looks like William?
So much.
Do you think so? Does it really? That is so funny. Everybody says that. Anyway, I'm going to carry on and go through all of my memories, and I'll let you know what else I find because this is too much fun. I mean, I wish I could decorate this house with some of my tried out paddles, but I don't think that would go over well. But in the meantime, later I'm going to head to the shops in my cheerleading. Do you dare me, Chris? Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. This is one of the boxes I'm most excited about because it has all of my china and very American china. It's Ralph Lauren, and I'm hoping it has all survived. You can see there's a lot of orange bubble wrap here. It's
going to take me a while to get through this, but I think many of you have heard me mention in past videos, or at least definitely, I think I put a poll or a question out there on either in Patreon or on a YouTube live recently, where I thought that in this dining room, when we open up to the public, now that the tapestries are down and we have different ancestors hanging around, I thought it would be nice if I put my Ralph Lauren, as long as it looks good. I've got to open it up still, my Ralph Lauren china here. And then when guests, visitors come in, they can tell the story, of course, about the interiors here and some of the pictures on the wall, but I thought it would be important to also mention that this is our Americans' china. I don't know, comment down below, let me know what you think. Well, you've got to look at the china first, but it is very American, and I think that it would be nice for me to have a little bit of Americana in this room. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm quite emotional because I haven't seen my china and my crystal for, a really long time. And for me, I think having like something of mine here in the house it's much more emotional than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I've always joked like there's not anything of me in the house apart from me, American. And these are, as you can see, these are totally American, Ralph Lauren right here. It doesn't get more American than this. This is my Waterford crystal. So the plan is I'm going to set this table when we open to the public and have my Ralph Lauren china out and just like a sign or something like that, small sign saying that this belongs to me, the American, and this is my special set. But gosh, I think it's so beautiful. I think all of this is just so beautiful. And next, if I need to go through the cutlery, but you can see my cutlery has arrived. And for those of you who remember Marshall Fields, like the greatest, and the wonderful thing about Marshall Fields is that there's a connection with Alberta. So Alberta was friends with one of the daughters. And I mean, how extraordinary is that as well, that my cutlery came from Marshall Fields. So you can see the Reed and Barton there, which is obviously was bought at Marshall Fields. That's this style here, really pretty. And well, you can see there. Oh, I'm trying to get the glare off. There we go. You can see there. There we go. Reed and Barton. Really, really beautiful. So I have this style, and then I have this style, which I love. Sort of, it has just little dots around the perimeter of each of them. And this is Christoffel. You can see that here on one of the knives. There we go. Let's see if I can get there. Excellent. So I got 2 sets, which is amazing. So where does a quince come from? Good question. So it comes from like Asia, Mediterranean, and they're related to the pear apple family. And you can see that, but you don't want to eat it. It's just too tangy. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to wash, peel, core, slice, add these to this, not going to cook it yet, some lemon juice, like juice of a lemon, and let it sit there for like 4 hours. That's what it says. So next time you see me, I'll probably be in a different outfit because, well, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. It's like 8 o'clock at night here. So I don't think there's a problem with me just leaving it overnight. I mean, what's the difference between like 4 hours and like, I don't know, 8, 10 hours, right? And then I'll come back in the morning and do the rest.
finished. There are my quince. I used 4 big quinces. They worked out to being like 3.75 pounds for those of you in America. And I'll tell you what that would be in grams in a second. Now I'm going to put in some lemon juice and some sugar. I'm going to put the recipe down below. Oh, I forgot to mention, vanilla extract must be the secret ingredient here. So I'm going to put this, this has to sit for 4 hours, but obviously it's going to do a little bit more than 4 hours. And because I'm going to bed soon. I think it will be just fine. I'm going to give it a good mix in a second. Now, the sugar, it's a lot of sugar. So I've measured out what I need. Again, recipe down below, but you're supposed to put in half the sugar right now. This is half the sugar that I need to be using. Put that in. Wow, it's a lot of sugar, a lot of sugar. And I'm going to put in like, I don't know, teaspoon and a bit. Yeah, smell it. I mean, it's so good. I'm going to give it a good mix. I'm going to put in like 1 3/4. Okay, that's enough. This is not vanilla jam, even though I love vanilla. Okay. I'm going to give it a nice little stir here. Wow. I hope this works. There's like, okay, leave for 4 hours, really mix it up. That's what I'm going to do. Just to make sure that every quince is thinly sliced. Most of them are thinly sliced. There are some thicker ones. Hope I don't get in trouble for that. Okay, I'm gonna cover it up, everybody. And then we're gonna wait until tomorrow and see how it looks. This has been sitting here overnight, and what's extraordinary is that obviously I put in lemon juice and sugar, but there's there's a lot of, liquid that has come from, the quince has obviously been sort of letting go of, shedding its liquid overnight. Now, the next step, there's still several steps. So I might be in a different outfit. I have a meeting later today and I might be in a different outfit for that when I come back to this. It says to bring it on medium to high heat and bring this to a boil. And it's funny because when I read that, I was like, how am I gonna bring this to a boil when there's really only like, some lemon juice and sugar? But now I get it. There's actually quite a lot of liquid here. So I'm going to bring this to the boil. After that, I'm going to add the remaining sugar. Now, it says here, add the remaining sugar. It says also, I'm supposed to be stirring this constantly while it comes to the boil. Then once to the boil, add the sugar. And I can hear it. It's not going to take very long. Add the sugar and then occasionally stir for 12 minutes. After the 12 minutes, take it off, let it completely cool, which will take between 1 to 2 hours, but it says you can leave it overnight. I'm not planning on leaving it overnight. I mean, I could leave it for another overnight, but hopefully I'll get back to it later today. This does take like all day. So basically, I'm gonna take this off. It says to cool it or overnight, but cool it for 1 to 2 hours. I'm gonna stick it down in the lauter. Then, once it's cooled, put it back on, then fill it with all the water. So that's in the description down below. Do the exact same thing, 12 minutes, 3 times in total. 12 minutes, leave it to cool 1 to 2 hours or overnight. 12 minutes, leave it to cool 1 to 2 hours or overnight. 12 minutes, leave it to cool 12 minutes. No, anyway, you get my point. So it's looking good. It's looking very syrupy and kind of sticky, which I think is the point of this. Okay, so I'm happy with that. And yeah, I'm gonna put a lid on. I think that's okay. Give it one last stir. Wow. This is a close-up after round 1. Looking good. I mean, I think it's looking good. Okay, down in the lauter it goes. This is the first of 3 rounds. So it's cooled definitely in the lauter. Oh, it's looking quite nice. I'm gonna pour in the water, but I've given you the recipe, the normal recipe that I'm using. So this is, wow. It says I need 7 3/4 cup water. That was 4 cups. Put the water in, bring it back to the boil. Watch it for 12 minutes, let it cool for 1 to 2 hours. Come back, bring it to the boil without adding any more water. 12 minutes. Well, medium to high heat, I should say. Not like boiling, but like a good boil simmer. This is round number 3. It's like 8 o'clock at night. I've got to make supper, but just to give you an idea of, it's looking good. I think probably next time, because it's jam, I might slice these a different way. But anyway, it'll still taste the same, I hope. A different outfit, because it's yet another day making the quince and walnut jam. Now, this is my last, it says on the instructions, this is my last time to sort of bring it to a boil and then let it sort of simmer for 15 minutes. But difference is that I'm now adding in the walnuts. So I put the walnuts in a food processor and got them, because I kind of think if I'm gonna have this on like toast or cheese, I wanted these in, little bits. Okay, so this is what it says to do. Yep. Give it a good stir while she holds the camera. Okay, and then, wow. Sorry for the camera angle, everybody. Whoa. Just because I'm holding my tripod while I'm showing you this mixture. So it's complicated. There we go. That's a nice shot. Okay, I'm getting better at this. Okay, I'm just giving it a nice little stir. Whoa, there goes the camera. Okay, excellent. Hopefully I'm not making you sick by watching this because the camera is jiggling everywhere. It says to bring to the boil. Bring it to the boil and then let it simmer for 15 minutes. I mean, it's not as thick as I thought it was going to be, especially for like making jam. But I think on this last one, this should do it. I hope so. Fingers crossed. Finished. And it might not look appealing, the quince and walnut jam, but I can tell you it tastes delicious. So, and I've got a piece of bread for me, but oh my God. I mean, I have to be honest, that was worth all of the hours. This took hours. I now have a new found admiration for anybody who preserves jams, chutneys, all of that, because this took a long time. So what I'm gonna do now is bottle these up, and I'm sure I'm probably doing it the wrong way, but bottle these up the best I can, label them, and then I'm gonna put them on my piece of toast here once I finish it. So that's it. Let me know what you guys think. I put the recipe down below, and it takes a long time, but probably some of the best. It's very thick jam. It's almost chutney-ish, to be perfectly honest, that I've ever had, but it's delicious, and I can't wait for Luke to try as well. All right, I'm gonna continue to bottle. So you can see I've got quite a few more to go. Love Mapperton. Well, be sure to stay connected with us behind the scenes. Subscribe to the Mapperton Live newsletter for exclusive updates on what Luke and I are up to each week, whether it's uncovering historic treasures, restoring on the estate, or preparing for the season ahead. You'll be the first to hear about upcoming events, special projects, and daily life at Mapperton. Don't miss out. Sign up today and experience the magic of Mapperton from wherever you are.